Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeShop.com. I got the new 4x4 from Cyclone Boys. It's the Xuan version 2. How did I miss the version 1? I don't know. I've been a fan of Cyclone Boys 4x4 since pretty much I started. So around when I started, there was the Aosu 4x4 that just came out, and then there was the Aosu Mini, and then there was the Cyclone Boys G4, which was one of the first 60mm 4x4s on the market. And that's the one I believe I used for my first competition, and it was fantastic. It wasn't one of the biggest hits. I don't know exactly what it is, but Cyclone Boys just never seems to get the recognition it deserves for some of their puzzles. I feel like the 3x3s have been lacking since the Xanchi days. They did have, from the G4, they did have a first version of this, which I just for some reason missed, and they had their Mini, which was around 57mm, which wasn't bad either. However, the YJ Mini is definitely a little bit nicer in my opinion as far as consistency. Okay, instead of doing my normal unboxing, I want to get right into it and just do a bunch of solves. So I unboxed it and did 100 solves on the 4x4. It was a lot of solves in one day on 4x4. Immediately, it was too loose, in my opinion. I didn't even try one solve. I was afraid it was going to pop. So I just started tightening it. I went around, tightened it once by a little turn, and then it was still too loose. I tightened it some more. So right now it's about that tight, if that gives you any idea. The colors are basically all what you'd expect, but there's a kind of darker red, which I really enjoy. It's not really dark, but it's darker than some other puzzles. I guess I'll just do this to give an example. Now, as far as performance, Cyclone Boys cubes? How do I say that? Anyways, they tend to be kind of more clunky, more swooshy, but very fast. And as an example, I think their Scube is a very popular one because it has that very fast and crisp turning. I know crisp and swooshy feel weird if you've never tried any of these puzzles, but if you try one, you basically know what the rest are like. This 4x4 is no different. It has magnets. The magnets are actually quite clicky. It's a little flexible, and it feels very much like more classic 4x4s. That flexibility is something that I feel like I'm used to when I started, and people who are starting now or started maybe in the past few years might not like this feeling at all, because this is going to be very foreign compared to what the MGC is like or the WRM. This is more of a classic puzzle that has an updated design with magnets. In my opinion, it works really well. My times were not really much different. So I'll take the last 50 as an average once I got used to the turning, and my average was around 51 seconds. My average at a competition, my best average of 5 is 50.59. I pulled it up. So my best average of 5 in that average of 100 was 46.97, and my best single solve was 41.08, which I'll put in the video. There was a solve that should have been sub 40, and it was bad. I messed up. Was it a T-perm? I messed up something really badly. Anyways, so what are some maybe flaws of this puzzle? Since it is more flexible, I have gotten a few catches that are just out of nowhere. Sometimes it's been amazing, but other times it does tend to catch if it's flexing, and I think that's the issue with more flexible puzzles. This is why I tell people looser puzzles are often worse. If you don't know what tension to do it, tighten your puzzle, and if it has maybe a 1 through 5 setting like the Tornado, go all the way tight and then loosen from there. Because when it's flexible, if you're being a little bit rough with it, it's not going to corner cut. Like something like this as an example, you could corner cut through this, but if it's flexing, if let's say the pieces are not exactly aligned, it's going to have more trouble corner cutting, and this goes for GAN puzzles and everything else. So sometimes it's been amazing, but when it starts flexing, it gets a little bit weird. I didn't really have any trouble with inner slices or the middle slice. For me, it was actually the outer slices during OLL and PLL, and that also might be because I'm used to the smaller YJ Mini at this point. Besides tightening it after one solve, I realized I wanted to soften up the feeling a bit, so I added about 20 drops of Lunar. I added Lunar because I didn't want to slow it down really much at all, and I could add a lot more drops to soften the feeling up without really slowing it down. This is a puzzle that I might use at a competition. it's rare. I think my top 2 spots would be the YJ Mini and the WRM from Moyu. Then my next tier would be the GTS3. It's just a little too big for my liking. And this one that is really nice, but maybe a little too flexible. I could also put in that tier the MGC. I've just never really liked the feeling of it. It feels a bit blocky to me, or clunky. Can't really explain it any better than that. And the Meilong, because it's very much like the WRM, but maybe not as flexible as I'd like. It's that fun middle range there. But if you liked more classic feeling 4x4s, you want that slight bit of flexibility there, check this out. I would recommend tightening it and adding some lubrication to soften the feeling, but I like it. I personally like it. So with that said, it's on sale at SpeedCubeShop. You can save a little bit by using discount code SCR. Let me know your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and so stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.